those 68 points, 39 of them were Sergio Aguero. So I guess in some ways it's a little misleading. Like, I would have been below the average points if I hadn't have played the triple captain. But I would argue that that was a smart play. And I'll explain why in a minute. But just going through the team, you can see pretty disappointing across the board. I really thought Bernardo Silva and Mendy would have done more. They both, I think, played the whole match against Southampton, and we'll talk about that match in a minute. But yeah, disappointed there. I think it's just unlucky in some ways. Like, there's some one week it's one player's on form for Man City, the next week it's another. You know, this week it was, I guess, Aguero, so I was lucky there, but it was also Sterling, who's playing magnificently. And, you know, in the past it's been Bernardo Silva. He's done quite well recently-ish. I guess he hasn't done that well, actually. Maybe I'll get rid of him. But Mendy's done pretty well over recent weeks, so, you know, apart from when he's injured, when he's not injured, I would say he's easily the best defender you can pick up at the minute. For 6.4, that is a lot of points you're getting. Just those 3 games when he got injured, unfortunately. But yeah, again, weird, I guess, that he didn't at least get an assist or something this game. But that's just the way cookie crumbles, I guess. In terms of what I changed in the team, the only change I made was bringing in Callum Wilson for Danny Ings. I was happy Callum Wilson got a goal. However, so did Danny Ings, so it didn't really help me in any way. But going forward, I think Callum Wilson's a much better bet than Danny Ings. So yeah, I'm happy with the points. You know, it puts me up, but still not under that 500,000 that I wanted. Dropped back because of last week's abysmal performance. But you know, around there really, you got to be in it to win it. So, you know, keeping it real. Is that a phrase the kids use? I guess so. Anyway, yeah. So the triple captain thing, a lot of people might be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have played triple captain there. You know, you should play it when there's the double game week for some players." And I do completely see your point, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I just saw an opportunity where I felt Sergio Aguero was going to get a lot of points this week, and I wasn't actually wrong. He did get a lot of points. He got 13. Not his highest, obviously, when he got his hat-trick there. But I think to walk away with a goal, and I think it was 2 assists, was it? A goal and 2 assists, yeah. I'm actually very happy with that. Last season, I played my triple captain, and I think I got like 6 points because I can't remember who it was. I think it was Salah, and he just didn't score or assist. So, you know, you could. I know people are like, well, it doubles the chances of, you know, if you play in a double game week, it doubles the chances, or could even double the score. But you don't know what teams, or you do kind of know what teams your players, the player you pick is going to play, but you don't know. You know, Aguero could be injured at that point. There could be somebody through. Like, I just saw an opportunity, and I went, yeah, play it, because I think Aguero is going to get good points, and he did. So I'm very happy with it. You know, I could be proved wrong. There could be like Mo Salah against like Cardiff and Southampton, you know, a double game week, and he could be right in form, and he could get a hat-trick and 2 goals or something like that, and people were walking away with like 100 points or something. Of course that could happen, but it also might not happen. You know, nothing is set in stone. And I don't think getting an extra 13 points is anything to really sniff at. That can make or break a season, you know. Things are very close, as we'll see in the Plays Cup, I think, in just a moment. But the rest of the squad didn't do very well, did they? Really? Again, players playing, that's good. But just disappointment. Even the subs didn't really do anything. I guess that's just the way it goes, isn't it? You know, I mean, I can't believe Man City didn't keep a clean sheet. That I'm really pissed off about. You know, that's an extra 5 points there. Phenomenal. I didn't really expect Liverpool to keep a clean sheet. I thought they stood a good chance against Arsenal. Shaqiri, I was going to swap out, but it would have cost me points, and I didn't really know who I wanted to put in, so I'm going to swap him out this week, I think. Although we'll have a look and see who's playing. In terms of the Plays Cup here, the reason why I said the extra 13 points is look how close this is. If I had 13 points less, I'd be on 620, so I'd be down there. But as it is, I'm 6 points off second. Obviously, Vergaard there, smashing it, and some really good points totals actually up here, and even down the bottom as well. Some very good points totals. I think everybody had a reasonable week. I'd count like sub 40 as a bad week, like a really bad week, and I'd count maybe like over 65 as a good week. So I think a lot of people did alright. In terms of October, because we're now to November, I did not have a good October. I had the best September and one of the worst Octobers. Yikes. So I've dropped down a lot, and obviously this is, November's the first week of November, so yeah, work to do. I love fantasy football though, it's great, isn't it? So let's talk about the football games, because I'm sure a lot of you are here for that as well. We'll start off with Bournemouth v Man United now. I only managed to watch the first half of this live, because I had to go to work, and if you'd have said to me after that first half that Man United would go on and win 2-1, I'd have said you were crazy. Because Bournemouth has smashed Man United in that first half. They were excellent. They missed so many chances though. And I guess if you're going into half time like 1-0 up, I think Martial scored. I think he scored in the second half, I believe. But yeah, if you're going in, only 1-0 against a team with quality players, like Man United do have quality players, no one can argue that, then you kind of have yourself to blame in a way. I thought Wilson's goal was really good. A great kind of low cross across to him. But Man United are showing they maybe do have a bit of resilience and a bit of a comeback. I can't for the life of me understand how they played so badly in that first half, and have done recently. Like, I don't get it with Man United, because it's almost like you don't expect it from Jose Mourinho team for a team to go in and just look underprepared or like not up for it. Like, I don't quite get it. Is it a case of like they don't have the leaders that they used to have? I was talking in a FIFA video about, I watched a documentary. It was about, it's a fairly old one now I think, but it was Keane and Vieira, both kind of talking to each other about their rivalry, and you could see that Keane was talking about leaders in the dressing room, and you could see that Man United team of the day, not only Roy Keane, but just a lot of leaders back in the day, and maybe when I look at Man United's team now, I don't see as many in the, Pogba I don't see as personally as a leader. But when I say leader, what I mean is somebody who absolutely wants to win at all costs. I totally believe that they want to go out there and want to win matches, but when you look at the intensity that some leaders and captains have to drive their team onwards, Roy Keane said what he felt was one of the most important parts of being a captain was being the best player on the pitch, and it kind of drove him to be the best, and that inspired other people as well, I think. And I was watching an interview with Darren Fletcher on Monday Night Football, and he was saying that Roy Keane, he just pushed everybody, and people always think of him as this angry guy, but it wasn't really the case. But I don't see that there's a player in Man United's team who is pushing everybody on, who's driving them forward. And I'm not saying that is their players' faults. I'm saying more that is actually something a little bit more to do with the recruitment policy maybe they have there, that they're not bringing in those players. They feel a little bit Arsenal-y in Arsene Wenger's kind of last few years, where you kind of are looking for someone who's going to take the game by the scruff of the neck or do something like that, but they don't. They've just got a lot of talented players who don't feel like they're clicking properly, and when they can score really good goals, but there's just something missing from them. There's an intensity, and it is weird that this is a Jose Mourinho team that is like that, because when you think back to his Chelsea teams, they had so many leaders that he brought in and pushed them on. But and I mean, to be fair, they did recruit them. The Drogba's, Lampard, I guess Terry, kind of came through. But those kind of players who drove that Chelsea team on so brilliantly. And now when you look at this Man United team, there's no one like that. There's players who I feel kind of go missing a bit. But having said that, they did win the football match away to Bournemouth, which is a very good result. Having said that, they are only 3 points away from Arsenal. 4 from being in the top 4. Is this as big a crisis as people feel? Now, I would say this: Arsenal seem to be playing better football than Man United are currently. They have defensive issues, Arsenal, but I think, and it feels more positive. Like Unai Emery feels more positive than Mourinho. So I think Mourinho's kind of bringing on this crisis himself a little bit, but we'll see, I guess. Martial scored his 4th goal in 4 Premier League games. Well, 5th in 4, but he scored in 4 consecutive, having not scored previously in the season. So clearly he's getting a run. If you see, he did not get the minutes before. I don't know why this might seem as a surprise to anyone. Martial's a very good footballer. We saw that under Louis van Gaal. Rashford has only got 2 goals this season. But again, not getting that many games, is he? Or like a full, 90 minutes. I kind of feel like Lukaku might not be the right guy here. I know he seems like a typical Mourinho forward, but I don't know, something's not right with him here, is it? I know he's injured at the minute, which is why he didn't play. Maybe he would have played. Maybe he would have scored. I don't know. I guess you never know. But if he's not injured in their next game, is he going to drop Martial for Lukaku? I mean, surely he can't. I don't know. We'll see. One thing I do know is if Man United do end up losing Martial, they'll regret that. I'm sure of it. As for Bournemouth, well, they'll be so disappointed, I think, with that loss. They really will. I think that their first half they completely dominated and deserved to be ahead. And I think they'll be super disappointed about what happened there. It was like the 92nd minute or something that Rashford scored, so had to be going. Leicester Cardiff. Obviously, this was kind of overshadowed by the tragic events at Leicester. I feel sorry for Cardiff in a way because this was probably not a game you want to play in terms of you kind of feel like the bad guys if you end up beating Leicester, as it was. Leicester won. It's weird. I think Cardiff did themselves proud with the reception they gave Leicester and the tributes and stuff. They didn't play that well, but again, I feel like this match is kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's very, very weird. Obviously, it's not a great situation for Leicester. I'm very happy that they did win. I think a lot of their players, you can see how much the chairman meant to them, and I would say that, look at your football club and look at the chairman of your football club, and if something similar happened, would the players feel the same way? Possibly not. I doubt maybe even Man City players have actually ever even met actually they have met the chairman, but maybe like at Man United, maybe some of those players never even met the Glaciers. I don't know. I'm not saying that being popular is the right way to run a football club or anything like that. I'm just saying that that is obviously a tragic loss to Leicester and the community of Leicester as an actual city. So you might be able to hear some wind sounds as well. By the way, there's a strong wind outside, and I've got my windows shut, but it's really, really strong. So yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Cardiff. It will probably be just as emotional. I imagine Leicester are playing at home. Yeah, it's going to be pretty emotional, that one, I guess, for them as well. And it'll take a little while for things to get back to normal, I guess, for them, if they ever do, really, in a way. But hopefully they can get back on track. That puts them in 10th. It's a decent start. They had a bit of a bad spell. I hope that kind of galvanised their system. I don't think anybody dislikes Leicester, do they? Like, they're not a dislikable team. I think pretty much every neutral was cheering them on to win that league title. I think especially under Claudio Ranieri, they were kind of everyone's favourite second team. So very sad about what happened, but I think everyone involved in that, both Cardiff and Leicester, did themselves proud of that. Moving on to Everton v Brighton. Quite glad I didn't put Glenn Murray in now. I was going to have Richarlison with 2 goals though. He's starting to come good again. Really good win, I think, for Everton, that one. They've been so patchy this season though. I mean, they've had some good form recently, the 2-1 to Man United, but otherwise they've been fairly solid in their wins. Chelsea will be a tough one, but 9th is not where they want to be, is it? With the investment they've had and bringing in Marco Silva, they want to be probably where Bournemouth are, and that's only 2 points away, but you feel that they have dropped some points where they shouldn't have. So, yeah, I think they'll push on. I think they'll finish around here. We just don't know what's going to happen. It's such a weird league. As for Brighton, I said before, I think they're going to be okay. They're playing Cardiff next, the Battle of the Birds, the Seagulls versus the Bluebirds. I think they'll probably beat Cardiff, potentially. And I think Brighton will finish mid-table. That's it. And I think Brighton fans will be exceptionally happy with that. If they can get a good cup run as well, it'll be a great season. Chris Houghton, doing a fantastic job there. Very happy for the guy. Newcastle getting a great win against Watford. Really good win. They needed that so desperately. Just edges them out of the Premier League relegation zone, but it is tight down there. It is very, very tight. There's a lot of shit teams down there, from Palace downwards. that is some shit teams. I mean, no offence to fans of those other teams, because I'm one of them, being a Palace fan. But none of these teams are very good right now. I think the relegation battle will be between them. I think West Ham will have enough to drag themselves out eventually. Like, they look pretty good. Watford, I imagine Watford to finish around here at the end of the season. You can see here they're not drawing many. They're either losing or winning, and I think that's the difference between them and maybe a team being able to push into Europa League places. They'll regret some of those losses. That was a bad loss to Newcastle in a way when you think about it. Battered by Bournemouth and Arsenal. I don't think they're having a bad season by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they're just going to end up around near Brighton mid-table at the end of the season. I think Newcastle, out of all these teams, stand. I would say, like, if I was looking at this bottom teams here, I'd say Palace and Burnley have the best opportunity to escape relegation, because I think they've got good teams. I don't think that. I think they've got good players, proven Premier League players. I think Newcastle are next because they have such a good manager, and I think the rest of them: Southampton, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Fulham. I think Fulham will depend on when they get rid of Jokanovic, and I don't think it's if anymore. I think it's when and who they bring in. Are they going to bring in a Sam Allardyce or someone like that? I don't know. Because this can all change, Like, when you look at it currently, if you just turn around and said, okay, none of these teams are going to get any new players in or a new manager, you'd say, well, that probably looks about how it will end up. But, we have a January transfer window. We have the potential for teams to sack managers. In terms of that, I don't think Palace will get rid of Hodgson. I don't think Burnley will get rid of Saunders. I don't think Newcastle will willingly get rid of Benitez, as in, I think if Benitez leaves, Benitez leaves, it will be from his own decision to leave. But yeah, we'll see, I guess, where that kind of leaves it. Huddersfield, I don't think it will get rid of David Wagner. I don't think Cardiff will get rid of Neil Warnock. I mean, I don't know. That's a weird one because it's not like that hasn't happened before with Warnock, but generally you live to regret getting rid of Neil Warnock in a way. And Fulham, I think, will definitely get rid of Jurkanovic like within the next week or so. So yeah, the relegation battle is you know, it's on big time, and West Ham beating Burnley 4-2. As I said, I think that West Ham are going to be okay. Like, I think they're going to make it out there. How far up the league they'll finish, I don't know. Felipe Anderson's starting to come good. Scored 2 decent goals. I wouldn't say they were breathtakingly stunning, but decent. Arnautovic is just too good for West Ham, I think, right now. I don't think he'll be at West Ham next season. It's my personal opinion. I think a lot of the clubs at the top would fancy him. My particular thoughts would be that Chelsea would be looking at him as a potential replacement for Morata. I think that would be a really, really good shout because I think he's technically gifted enough to be able to play. I think he's strong, he's quick, he's clearly can finish. I think he's got everything he needs to be a top player. The question is mentality. I think he's done very well at West Ham because he's felt like the leader there. And I wonder if he goes into a squad with a lot of other big stars where perhaps he's not the number one. How will he cope with that? I don't know. That's a long way off, obviously. But clearly he's doing brilliantly with West Ham. And yeah, Anderson I think could go on. Now it would be interesting with Anderson because when he was at Lazio, he obviously had a couple of really good seasons, and there was talk of teams like Man United coming in for him. He was like the next big Brazilian, you know. And then he faded a little bit, and then West Ham obviously snapped him up. And I feel like that was a move for him as a stepping stone into the Premier League, you know, where he would, you know, probably do well, and then maybe one of the top 6 would snap him up. So I don't think there's any I don't think there's any question that he has talent enough to play in a top 6 team. It's just a question of whether or not he can adapt to the Premier League, and maybe he's starting to come good. It's taken him a little, you know, probably about what you would expect, I guess, 10, 11 games. I think he's played pretty much all of them. Yeah, he has. We'll see. It's only one game, and he's got to kind of prove it going forward. But you know, I think he's one of my picks at the beginning of the season as a player who could really make a difference. You know, West Ham haven't had a player like that since Payet, so you know. In terms of Burnley, I mean, Burnley they're really bad defensively this season. I mean, you can see they've conceded the second most goals in the Premier League. Like, they're really bad defensively, and that's got to be a worry because that's what they did. Like, they've conceded 5, 4 and 4 in the last 3 games. That is incredible, you know. 13 goals in 3 games they conceded. Shocking. I know they've played against some good teams, don't get me wrong, but that is a lot of goals to ship. I think that they could be in trouble. I think it's a confidence thing, essentially. I think before in other seasons they've played with a lot of confidence. I think now maybe not so much because they took a hammering in the first few games, and Europa League's obviously knocked their stuffing out of them a little bit, I guess. But I think they're still going to be okay. I think. Apologies if you can hear like kids outside. I live near a school, and I guess it's their lunch break now. I don't know why they're outside. It's flipping freezing, but I would have stayed inside if it was me personally. Arsenal against Liverpool. I didn't get to watch this game. I was at work. Pretty even. I think Arsenal celebrated this like a great result, which I find interesting because they're at home to Liverpool. I guess maybe because they came back. I think it's a fair result for both teams. I think as I said, when you look at Arsenal, they're in 5th. They're only a few points or 1 point behind Spurs. You know, but there feels like there's more positivity around Arsenal, I guess, because they attack more than maybe some other teams, and because they've got Unai Emery, who's a bit more positive maybe with things, and because maybe some of the players who've been a bit dodgy have kind of coming in, but they're still not anywhere near challenging for that title, I would say, and I don't think maybe anyone expected them to be either, to be fair. They need to sort that defence out. You know, they've had 2 draws in a row. Yeah, the Palace one, you know, I guess it will be disappointing for them because it was defensive errors that cost them there. This one, it was really a defensive error, wasn't it? From Leno, who cost them it in a way. It's a good finish from Lacazette as well. A good finish from Milner, to be fair. But I think Liverpool as well. Liverpool have been really out of sorts in the last few games. I suppose if you want to be playing anyone, Fulham's probably a good choice. But they just lost against Belgrade midweek in the Champions League, and that was a weird one as well, you know, because they beat them so comfortably at home. So, yeah. But I think everybody would fancy a Liverpool win in that game, to be fair. Spurs against Wolves. I kind of feel sorry for. Is it this guy? Fourth, 1/4. Yeah. He okay. He ended up on 0 points. He gave away 2 penalties in a game which allowed, which is why Wolves got 2 goals. Yeah. I mean, Spurs, I guess, got away with it. It was good finishes. Harry Kane certainly with a good finish. Lamella as well. And Spurs are just weird at the minute, aren't they? Like, they're really weird. They won in midweek against PSV, came from behind there. Maybe this is a bit of a turnaround. Unfortunately, they're playing Palace next, for God's sake. I do always get the teams coming back into form. And Wolves, I think, you know, Wolves down there in 11th, and I mean, they've lost 3 on the trot. You know, maybe that new league bounce has gone away a little bit. I talk about that a lot. Like, teams get promoted who have done very well in the Championship, have this confidence about them, and, you know, tend to push up. Maybe that's gone away a bit. I don't think they're going to get dragged into a relegation battle. I think they'll end up around mid-table where they are, and that will be an exceptional season for them, I'm sure. As for Spurs, I mean, I genuinely feel like Spurs are going to finish in about 5th or 6th this season, because I just think this stadium thing has just screwed them over. Maybe once they get in it, they'll improve next season. Next half of the season. But I know they can't just write off this season, but I almost feel like they've got to in a way, because they've just screwed it up royally. Defensively, they've looked a bit dodgy. You know, give away 2 penalties, I guess that's what happens. But, you know, going forward, Harry Kane he's still bagging them in. Maybe not as many as he would like at this stage after 11 games. He's only got 6. But I think if we look at, where can we look at? I don't know where we can look at the top goal scorers in here. No, I cannot for the life of me remember where you look this up. Stats. Of course it's stats, you idiot. Yeah, you know, he's still second highest top goal scorer technically, so he's not doing badly. It's interesting actually, I hadn't looked at this before. Mendy, Sterling, Aguero, what was assist? Ryan Fraser though, doing pretty well. Jorginho, with the most passes, as you would probably expect, that's his role really. Joe Hart with the most saves. Interesting. On there. Richarlison, look at that with 6 goals. Pretty good. Murray. Wilson. Yeah, not bad at all. Anyway. Where were we? Let's talk about Man City against Spurs. to win this because you're mental. If you do, you'd have to be the hardcorest of hardcore Southampton fans to believe this. I think 99% of Southampton fans out there would have expected to get beaten. They were pretty insipid though, Southampton. Like, they tried to press Man City, but they just couldn't. Like, they just didn't. I think their players let them down a lot. They just didn't seem to do it. Man City, they'll want to play Southampton every week if they could do. They just destroyed them. They really did. As I said, it was Sterling's day. 2 goals, 2 assists. Aguero, 2 assists, a goal. Sane, 2 assists, a goal. I mean, it's just mental. Like, they got destroyed. It could have been 10, you know. And Southampton got a penalty when Edison brought down Ings. I think it was Ings anyway. Well, Ings scored it at least. Which was the only blemish, I guess, on that. But it's just one-way traffic there. Man City beginning to ramp things up a little bit, I think. I'm not sure Chelsea and Liverpool are going to be able to keep up with them as much. I think Man City might. I mean, that Man United game is going to be interesting. If I was going to bet, I mean, I'd obviously bet on Man City to win the league currently, but I might even bet on them to go unbeaten. You know, I guess Arsenal fans would hate that, but that's where it goes. I mean, they're just sublime at the minute, aren't they? They're just a joy to watch, and you know, whatever your thoughts are on them, whether you think, you know, the dodgy dealings that have perhaps gone on with them, or you know, whether you think Pep's a fraud, or whatever you think, no one can debate the fact that on that pitch they play good football, attractive football, and they often destroy their opponents, you know, with that. I'm not saying they're unbeatable, they're clearly not. They've been beaten this season in the Champions League. But what I will say is that they, you know, they are, from just a completely neutral point of view, they are great to watch. And, you know, I kind of, in a way, you kind of want them to go on and win things. As a neutral, I kind of say this, you know, somebody who's not really concerned with the top of the Premier League, much more concerned with the bottom. Because I just feel like their players, they play such good football and their players go on, but also I don't want them to, because I want to have a competitive league, you know. So I hope Chelsea and Liverpool can keep pushing. They're only, you know, 2 points behind. So as I said, they're not miles behind. I just feel that when you look at the results Man City have had, they've just looked better. But we'll see. We'll see. I think Chelsea are doing well at the minute, though. Definitely. Certainly punching above their weight, and they certainly punched out Crystal Palace. Like, what pisses me off is that for about 60 minutes I actually had hope that we might get something out of that game. Then they brought Hazard on, so that ended that, didn't it? Yeah, fair play Chelsea. They're playing very well. You know, as I said, I think they're punching above their weight. I don't think they've made the investments that Man City and Liverpool have made recently. Not saying they haven't spent money, they clearly have. But I don't think Sarri probably got all the players he wanted. You know, they had to loan a player in, you know. But he's clearly doing a decent job. Although you wonder and think, is this just like the usual Chelsea thing of like getting a new manager and do well? And I get this feeling that if Man City and Liverpool weren't as good as they were, Chelsea would win this league easily this season. If Man City didn't have Pep, if Liverpool didn't have Klopp, like, I get a feeling Chelsea would win this easily, so they would do it again with their new manager kind of thing. But they don't seem to be able to be consistent in that, so I'd judge Chelsea a couple of seasons down the line and see how they are then. You know, is Sarri still being able to do well? And have they brought through some younger players for once? You know, have they you know, not just gone out and I don't even know, but it'll be interesting anyway. Like, Chelsea have so many good young players. You just get a feeling like, what was the point in investing in those players if you're never going to play them? Like, what, just to sell on for a small profit? It just seems peanuts compared to the money they could make or save by not having to go out there and buy, you know, £50 million midfielders or 60 or however much Jorginho cost. I'm not saying that they have a player who could do as good a job as Jorginho. My point is that they should be using. They could have a player who could do as good a job as Jorginho, but their players don't get as good a job. Like no one would argue that De Bruyne could do as good a job as Jorginho. He absolutely could, but they never gave him a chance. So that Palace are just shit. We're just shit. We're just so bad. I'm just. We're really bad. We're gonna lose to Spurs as well. I just can't believe we're 14th. This is what I genuinely can't believe we're 14th. Like, how bad are there 6 teams below us that we're 14th? Like, we're terrible right now. We can't score a goal. I know that's weird because we clearly did score in the last few games, but what I mean is we scored 2 penalties and it's a good finish from Townsend, but like we don't have a striker. We're just awful, and yeah, there's just so many teams worse than us. Speaking of which, Fulham, yeah, that's a bad loss, Fulham. That's a real bad loss. You're bottom of the league. You spent over 100 million. I'm not saying Jokanovic should get sacked, by the way. I'm just saying he is gonna get sacked, and they are gonna bring in someone like an Allardyce. Like Allardyce must just be hanging around outside the ground with his phone on, like constantly, because he seems ideal there. Get them in, keep them in the Premier League. I know he's not gonna be what they want for the future, but what are they gonna do? Like they need to stay in the Premier League. I think I said last week about teams that can afford to get relegated. Fulham are not one of them. They've invested heavily. They will lose half their squad if they go down. And they're playing Liverpool away next game. Like, I mean, I'm predicting right now Jokanovic gets sacked after that. They get beaten about 4-0. Jokanovic gets sacked. That's my prediction. I don't mean to be Mr. Doom and Gloom. I actually think Jokanovic has done a really good job at Fulham. I just think that they were, their defence is woeful and it's costing them badly. They're just getting picked apart, In terms of what we got going on next season, Huddersfield is a good win, by the way. It's a good win for Huddersfield. I still think they're going to get relegated though, but it is a good win. And poor old Fosu Mensah. I like Fosu Mensah. He played well for us last season, but yeah. Next up, Cardiff Brighton. Big game for Cardiff. That's one they'll identify as being able to get points at. I just don't think they will. Huddersfield West Ham again. Kind of a big game. Burnley Leicester. Burnley will really want something like that, but Leicester again, that's going to be an emotional game. Newcastle Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are good. We'll see how Bournemouth react to that win, I guess. Southampton look awful, but that's the sort of game I can imagine them getting a winner. I think Spurs win that easy. I think Liverpool win that easily. I think Chelsea will beat Everton. Honestly, I think Everton haven't looked that good this season, but there could be an upset there. This is an interesting game. Arsenal, won't have the ball all the time like they like to have, so that would be interesting. But the big game's got to be Man City, Man United, hasn't it? Like, Jose Mourinho is going to be right up for that one. I think Man United get beaten. I think they'll get beaten badly, but it will be an interesting match, I think, for sure. In terms of what I'm going to change, I think I might leave Shaqiri in, and my theory for that is I'll wait until last minute, but I think I might, because he didn't travel to Partizan Belgrade midweek, so he'll be fresh for the weekend, so I think Klopp might play him against Fulham, and he's sort of player might get something against Fulham. I think I'm going to drop Bernardo Silva, maybe put in somebody. I might cost myself a couple of points. I don't know though, maybe I'll leave him because he is playing at least. Hazard, I think he's got to stay in. I think he'll do well against Chelsea if he's back now, because he was kind of injured. But I think he might be back for that game. I actually might put Zaha up front just for the memes. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you did well. Congratulations if you did. congratulations if you didn't. But it's still a long season to go. So till next time, see you soon. Bye bye.